Okay, hello everybody. This week actually I chose something easy for you. We are going to revise all the comprehension skills that we have taken from the beginning of the year. This is very important. The point is that I don't want you to forget any of these skills um, because when we come back to school, we're going to use all of these, especially in comprehension. Okay, and since also you know that we cannot do listening and speaking as online lectures, that's why um, we are obliged to do more comprehension, writing, and grammar skills. That's why this week is going to be comprehension skills. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it because it's not that difficult. So I just want you to follow up with me, pay attention, concentrate, full focus because you are going to have a comprehension worksheet to do after watching this session. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, one of the most common skills is cause-effect relationship. You all actually know what is a cause-effect relationship. We are just going to explain briefly again that a cause is what makes something happen. It means it's the reason, okay? It's something that leads to something else, okay? It's the reason for something else. So, to find a cause, you need to ask yourself what happened first. So, usually the cause happens before the effect. Usually the cause happens first. Okay, so as we said, we repeat again that the cause is something that causes something else to happen. It means it's the reason. Okay, and in order to make it easier for yourselves, you may ask, in order to find a cause, you may ask yourself what happened first. Okay, so let's say for example that Jad is absent because he is sick. Okay, it means that Jad got sick first, then he was absent, so he didn't come to school because he was sick. So his sickness happened first. So as we said, the cause usually happens before the effect. Now, what is an effect? An effect is what happens because of something else, means the result. Okay, so what happened because Jad was sick? He didn't come to school. Okay, so this is the point, this is the result. The result of being sick is that he didn't come to school. Okay, so as we said, the cause is the reason and the effect is the result. The cause happens before the effect, so the reason comes before the result, before the outcome. Now, in order to find the effect, you need to ask yourself what happened second. It means Jad was sick, he didn't come to school. So, because he was sick, the step that happened next is that he didn't come to school. So, this has happened second. Let's have a look at these examples. The boy was grounded because he wasn't on green at school. What happened first? The thing that happened first is that he wasn't on green. This is the cause, this is the reason. What happened second? The boy was grounded. So this is the effect, this is the result, this is the outcome. Okay? Because is the transition, and this is very important. Okay, because is the transition. As you can see, these transitions are very important because they make it easier for you to find the cause-effect relationship. Okay, let's now move to the second skill, which is the author's purpose. Now, the word purpose, I need you to know something. The word purpose, the one that I'm trying to highlight right now means why. What is the purpose? What is the point after doing something? Why did he write this? Why did he do this? Okay, what was his purpose? What was the reason that he did this thing? So the author is the person who writes a certain story or a certain text or a certain book or a certain article and so on. So every person or every author has a certain reason after writing something, has a certain purpose. Okay, so what is the author's purpose as a definition? If we want to define the author's purpose, means that this person has a certain aim or a certain goal after writing something. So all authors have a reason or a purpose for writing. Okay? The details and information that they present demonstrate their purpose. So based on the information that they present, based on the way they are writing, based on the details that they are presenting, we can say that the purpose is to do this and this and this. So the details and information in their books or stories or passages or texts or articles, whatever, demonstrate their purpose. So, in order to know what is the author's purpose, you have to ask yourself, what does the author want me to learn? What does the author want me to think as a result of reading or viewing their work? Why did the author write this article or book? What does the author want me to know? What is the goal of this author? What is the aim of this author? Why did he write this book or text or passage? Why? What does he want people to know? This is the main question that you have to ask to yourself. So, in brief, author's purpose is the reason why a writer, an author, writes something. Okay? Now, we are going to talk about the main purposes of a writer. There are lots of purposes. I'm going to discuss three main purposes only, okay, which are to persuade, the first one, to inform, and to entertain, okay? So, first of all, I'm gonna start with the first purpose, which is persuade. In persuade, first of all, if we are explaining the meaning of the word persuade, it means to try to convince someone to do something. Okay, so for example, I'm persuading my mom to stop smoking. So I'm trying to let her agree. I'm trying to convince her to do something. Okay, so when persuading, the author is trying to get you to do or try doing something. Okay, try doing something or to try anything. Try to do something or try any object, any let's say any stuff that you may buy or something. Okay, so to persuade is to convince someone to do something or to try something. Okay, now where do we find persuade mostly? In commercials. Commercials and advertisements are almost the same. Okay, so when you are watching, let's say a commercial or an advertisement about let's say a certain mobile phone. Okay, so in this commercial or in this advertisement, they are trying to convince you to buy this phone. They are trying to persuade you to buy this phone. Also in billboards, when you see at the street, for example, some billboards, advertisements also about, let's say, mobile phones, about a certain car, about a certain brand. So all of these are trying to persuade you or to convince you to try them or to go buy them. So this is the main purpose of advertisements, of commercials, of the billboards, and so on. Also, concerning political ads, especially in Lebanon, it's found a lot. So when they try to persuade you or to convince you to elect for a certain politician, okay? Opinions. If I have a certain opinion which says that Turkey is an amazing country for tourism, okay, so I'll try to convince you, I'll try to persuade you, I'll try to let you agree on what I'm saying. So this is what do we mean by persuade. So in brief, to persuade is to get someone to try something or to buy something or to agree on something and so on. Okay, so let's now move now to the second purpose, which is to inform. Okay, this is clear because to inform means information, to give information. So when the author is informing, it means he is trying to give you information or to teach you some facts. Usually, when we inform, it means we are using real ideas, real events, real facts. We are using dates, we are using names, we are using real information. Okay? So to inform is to let you know something, to give you information about something, to teach you facts about something. Okay? Now, where do we find this purpose mostly? We find it in non-fiction texts, which are real, which are informational texts. We find them in history and science because usually in history we use dates, so we cannot write anything from our own. We have to use facts. In science also, we have to use facts. They are proved. So it means to inform. The purpose here is to inform. In news articles, because usually in news articles, they are trying to give you information about everything new that's happening in the country and abroad. So it also means to inform. Sometimes in recipes, because, for example, if I'm asking for a recipe about cheesecake, let's say, so I'm getting information how to do this meal or how to prepare this cake. Okay, so a recipe is also to inform. Biographies also, same as history, we use dates, we use names, we use real facts and events, so its purpose also is to inform. Let's now move to the last one, which is to entertain. The author is trying to make you enjoy the story by keeping the reader's attention. So when the author writes a story just for readers to enjoy, to have fun, to keep their attention, to attract them, the purpose here is to entertain. Okay? Now, we may find this purpose in fiction stories, in fantasy, in mystery, in comics, jokes, and adventures, because all of these entertain us as readers. Okay? So, now let's move to the third skill, which is context clues. I'm not going to stop a lot of time here because it's easy, and this skill, mainly this skill, you can get experts in it if you practice. Okay? Context clues is when a reader looks for hints or clues in a text or a sentence to find a meaning of a word. Okay? So, let's say, for example, the word may be unfamiliar. Let's see the example. So, here is an unequivocal used in context. Okay? Let's see the meaning of this word. Okay, it can be concluded that unequivocal means certainty or without doubt based on the way used in the above text. So usually, guys, when you want to know the meaning of a certain word through context, you have to read the whole sentence, look around the sentence, look for hints, look for clues to find the meaning of the word. Now we're going to move to the fourth skill, which is the author's tone. This is very important also. Uh, so, so, author's tone is the author's attitude. Okay, so it's the author's attitude. The author's attitude means his tone, the way he is thinking, the way he is feeling towards the thing he is writing. Okay, so his attitude toward the audience, the subject, or the character he is telling us about. The tone is shown through a dialogue, talking, or through description, word choices. So you may find the author's tone, or you may guess the author's tone through a certain dialogue, through a certain description, through word choices, through some hints and clues that you may find in the text. For example, textbooks are usually written with an objective tone, which includes facts and reasonable explanations. The objective tone is matter of fact and neutral. Okay, on the other hand, you can see that fiction and personal essays are written with a subjective tone. A subjective tone is used to describe feelings, judgments, opinions, and so on. Okay, so details are likely to include experiences, senses, feelings, and thoughts. This chart is found with you as a worksheet. I have distributed this sheet at school. These are some commonly used tone words. We have explained all of them at school, I guess. Okay, so there are lots of words, many words, more than these even, but these are commonly used, so you may just get benefit from them. Let's now move to chronological order. It's a very easy one. Chronological order, or sequence of events, or time order. Okay, it means when I write the events in the correct sequence, in the correct order. Okay, so when the author organizes the events in the story or the steps in a process in order, so I have to write them from the beginning to the end. Okay, now when we are talking about sequence of events, there are some clue words or transitions that we may use. Okay, some of them are like first, next, then, finally, furthermore, in the first place, after, one day, after 2 days, next week, next month. We have to use dates and years, okay, in order to write the events in order, in steps, in the correct process. Okay, here is some example about chronological order, about making orange juice. You can see the clue words first, next, then, at the same time, next, last. Okay, and you can see here that they are written in order, in form of sentences. Okay, in form of sentences, we numbered them. Okay, so oranges are dumped into a moving belt is the first event, oranges are rolled into juicing machines is the second, the rinds are thrown out is the third, the juice goes through small holes in the bottom of the tube is the fourth. Number 5, the juice goes into another machine called the finisher. And the last event is the juice goes into large tanks. So here is one form of questions that you may be asked concerning the chronological order, okay, which is number the events. Okay, now we're going to move to the second form of questions, which may be asked also in chronological order. As you can see here, I'm gonna highlight them. Okay, 1800s, over 800 years ago, in 1863, in 1904, and you may find the word today, which shows It shows nowadays. So here we have dates. Okay, I may have asked you to number the events, but there is another way to ask this question, which is to fill in a flow chart. A flow chart means events after each others. Okay, so event one, event two, flow chart. Okay, it means they are happening one after the other. Okay, so what happened in 1800s? This is what happened. So football was played in London and called soccer. In 1863, a group of players met and set up rules for soccer. In 1904, FIFA was found. In 2019, which is nowadays, or 2020, soccer is the most popular game around the world. Okay, so these are two forms of questions that may be. Now we're gonna move to skill number 6, which is figures of speech. And I just want you to know that we have lots of figures of speech, over than 30 or even 40 figures of speech. Okay? But we are going to discuss 3 of them now. Later on, we're gonna talk about different kinds of figurative language. Okay? Now, before we start with figures of speech, we need to know first what is the difference between figurative language and literal language. Okay? When I say literally or literal language, words function exactly as defined. When I say the car is blue, it means it is really blue. It is literally blue. There's nothing to be changed. He caught the football. It means he really caught it. He literally caught it. There's nothing to be changed. There's nothing unreal. Okay? Figurative language means to figure out what it means. I've got your back. It doesn't mean that I'm holding your back or I'm carrying you. It means that I'm protecting you. So there is a figurative language here. So I'm trying to use the English language, but in a way that you have to figure out the meaning. When I'm saying to someone, for example, you're a doll, does it mean that she is a real doll, that she is literally a doll? No, I mean that she looks like a doll. She's cute, she's pretty, she's beautiful. She looks like a doll. So this is the difference between literally and figuratively. Now we're going to move to figures of speech. First of all, we're going to start with the simile. The simile is an explicit comparison between two things using as or like. She looks like a moon. It means she's very pretty, but I'm using like. She is as long as a giraffe. I used as. Okay, so this is a simile. So a simile is a comparison between two things using like or as. And please keep this in mind, like and as. These are very important, using as and like. So this is. Now we move to the metaphor. A metaphor is also a comparison between two different things, but without using signal words such as like or as. We don't use like or as in metaphor. So metaphors and similes are the same. They are both comparisons between two different things, but the difference between them is that we use is, as and like in similes, but we do not use as and like in metaphor. Look at the examples. She is a graceful swan. So she is compared to a swan. John's mind is a computer. John's mind is compared to a computer. And as you can see, she represents a person, a girl. Swan as a kind of birds. So two different things. John is compared to a computer, two different things, to show that John is a very smart person. Stars are flowers. So I'm comparing stars to flowers in the middle of the sky. So stars are compared to flowers. So as we said, simile and metaphor, both of them are a comparison between two different things, but the difference between them is that in a simile we use signal words as or like, but in metaphor we do not use signal. Okay? The stars winked at me. So who usually winks? human beings, or a person usually winks. So we use this quality, this human quality, and we gave it to stars. If we said that the flowers are dancing, so I am giving the dancing quality, which is a human quality, to flowers, which are objects. So this is personification. And whenever you look at the word person, as I said, you will directly know that it is related to person. So the last skill that we're going to discuss is facts and opinions. As you all know, that facts are something which is true, something that could be proven, something that has dates, has names of people, names of places, something which is historical, is scientific. You may find facts mostly in historical fiction, in scientific texts, in biographies, and so on. Opinion is something different. It's a certain feeling or a certain belief. For example, if I said my favorite kind of food is Italian, maybe one of you doesn't prefer this kind of food, so it's my own opinion, it's my own belief, it's my own feeling, so it's different from one person to another. Okay, some of the clue words that you may find, you may read in order to find an opinion are like I think, I believe, I guess, my favorite, my best. Everything that has feelings is an opinion. Okay, let's look at this example. It talks about a certain kind of fish. It's the stingray. Some people think that stingray is ugly. Why? Because this fish, which is as flat as as a dinner plate, has two big eyes that pop out of its body. That is weird. Some people think that stingray is dangerous, and they are right. If you accidentally step on a stingray, you'll be sorry. It will use its tail to cut your leg. It may also put poison in your cut. Okay, so this is a very short paragraph about a stingray, which is a kind of fish. Let's now look at this table in which it has the facts and opinions in this paragraph. As you can see, facts: flat body, two big eyes, may put poison in your gut. These are real information. We can see them. They are facts. Opinions: the stingray is ugly. Some people may find it nice, beautiful. The stingray is dangerous. Some people think that it is a friendly kind of fish. The tail would cut your leg. Because he used would, I'm going to highlight this. Because he used would, it means he is not sure that it may do this. Okay? Now, after watching this video, please do the revision sheets. They are found in the worksheets icon on the school app. What I want from you is to do them. They are very serious. If you are in grade 7, this video, just to let you know, is for both grade 7 and 8. If you are in grade 7, the worksheet is going to be about tourism, same as the theme that we have explained before. And grade 8 is going to be about hurricanes, about natural disasters, natural phenomena. Both worksheets are very easy, very nice. Do them, they are very beneficial. And I'll hopefully see all of you in the live session on Tuesday. Goodbye.